we could say whatever we want to say on here and try to finger wag and point out the flaws or the bad things people are doing. But if our own behavior does not match what we are trying to portray, then we are just a false and a bad image.
Correct. If we're pointing our fingers at people saying you're this, you're that, but then we're doing it also behind and offline, it's a hypocrite.
Well,
Yeah, that's the integrity part. And when we fail the integrity part, it's because we're not fair, firm, and consistent in a moral grounding, or even we can even take morals out of this, or a standard that we set for other people. It's like, well, you do this, but you tell people I can't, rules for thee, but not for me. It really doesn't make any sense. And it's really reductive if you tell people, hey, I can eat all the cake I want to and get fit, but you can't do this. Meanwhile, I'm also being a fat ass too. It doesn't make any sense. It's like now all of a sudden we're devolving into a society of just selfishness behind closed doors and hiding it. So it's like I can call myself a 10 all day long, but it's like I'm not getting modeling contracts if I'm a regular guy and being told, like, it doesn't really make any sense because the fruits aren't being shown right now. And it's like for me to be a public speaker, to speak on behalf of men's issues, I can't then be a person that's running around and running through women and then say, I hate all these hoes that just sleep around and I'm sleeping around. This makes no sense. I agree.
Yeah. Gia, I can't wait till our interview, our episode drop, that we just did, because
Yeah, it was a good one.
it was a good one. And I think we covered a lot of exactly what we're talking about right now.
Mhm.
And that we're seeing that, a lot of this stuff that we're dealing with, because we kind of highlight a lot of this as a solution.
Yeah, true, admitted it too. Like I get it. I understand why men like the hoes. I get it. They're fun,
Yeah.
But then you have to also understand that with that, you're enabling and encouraging it. So, regardless whether it's behind closed doors and it's not making you look bad, and then you go online and then act like, I'm going to shame hoes, so I can get the pats on the back. Like that's not cool. It's not cool.
And that's why I've never been the one to come out like women that way, because I knew that I played a very vital role in the women around me being that way. I encouraged it when I was younger. I had no problem at the time capitalizing on female promiscuity. So I give an extensive grace, because I look at it and I go, you know what? Women lie to women, right? And men lie to women. So women just been lied to this whole time about how they're supposed to be. I was going to bring up a little bit later, but it's crazy because I was reading this morning. Miley Cyrus, out of all people, just recently came out being how mad she is at her mother for lying to her when she was younger, and how her mom would tell her you needed to be a certain way, that get with these guys. Like, for example, I'll pull it up now, and I find it interesting because this is exactly part of the problem that we need to address and we need to acknowledge, is that it says Miley Cyrus says her mom encouraged her to stay with the wrong guys in the past because they were hot, right? And not really helping her daughter find a man that's going to be a good relationship, that's going to have these qualities of a good, husband. No, they were just very superficial, very surfacey. And that's part of the problem that we see that women are dealing with. They're not being taught. It says in, Titus 2, how older women are supposed to teach younger women, to love their husbands and their children and how to behave. No, we're not getting that. We're getting older women telling younger women the wrong things.
How the older women teaching women to be prostitutes right now because they value money. So it all comes back to what you value, right? If a man is going to value only beauty and that's his top priority, he's probably going to have issues. If a woman only values money and that's what she prioritizes, she's going to end up with issues.
And we see these, like I know a woman, very gorgeous woman, she's in her 50s. And I tell you, she putting her next to any 20-year-olds these days, she's a smoke show. She'll blow them out of the water. But the sad thing is that she has experienced such bad, relationships, or she bought into this narrative that, she ain't need no man. And, she's gotten with the wrong guys or whatever throughout time, that she has a very negative view of relationships and men in general. And so with the information that she tries to spit out there for the masses to consume is very anti-male, very anti-patriarchal, very anti what I believe in. And what's hard is that she does that because of the negative experiences that she's had, because nobody taught her how to do it the right way, what to look for in a guy correctly. What should be valued and prioritized over other things.
I think it's even worse than that. You have to understand, when a woman is beautiful and she has a hard time staying with one man, she will end up getting told by other men, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that, but they just want to use her. So in the end, what ends up, this is what happened to me in the industry. Like, I always wondered why I would meet all these models and they were so beautiful, but they just had like horrible attitudes. Like, I was like, they're vile people. I could never understand it for the longest, because I just wasn't like that. I just didn't understand it. And then the more I got into the industry and the more people kept trying to use me and basically tell me things, and then just, it was all to use me. And in the end,
Yeah.
I start understanding, like, you have to start becoming almost a bitch, just to not have people come at you. And it was eye-opening for me, because I'm like, oh, now I get it, because that's what these women, they're beautiful, they're older, and they just been used so much that they just get vile attitudes, because they're afraid they're going to get hurt again. So they put up barriers.
And see that, and this is where it goes back to self-accountability, right? Men didn't try to manipulate and take advantage of women at that when they were younger and impressionable, then maybe they wouldn't have that experience. But also, maybe if fathers were there to protect those daughters, or
well, they also these girls value the wrong things. Like, they chase the wrong things. So it's not just the guys, it's them too. It's what they're chasing, like, I got married very young, and I think the only thing that's differentiated me is because I've been with one guy my whole life and I haven't been tainted. My husband's protected me from a lot of things.
Yep. And he could do it. He's a killer. Don't push him.
Good.
Telling you guys right now. Don't.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Like, here's let's highlight that again, because it's so sad. Gia. Like, people see, they'll see you in a picture, they'll see you in a video that you've done, and they'll just assume,
that I did it, like, oh, you owe your husband an apology. Look what you did before. I start cracking up. I'm like, my husband was right there my husband was with me even before I had a digital footprint. He's been there from day one. He's been at every single one of my shoots. Yeah. Yep. People are fun.
Every time I've met up with you, your husband has been there.
Yeah.
And I go hang out with him when you're doing interviews and we have a great old time,
Yeah.
Like, he's always there supporting you. He's always there right beside you. Like, this is not something like, you don't have this ridiculous body count that a lot of people assume that you do. And every time you tell everybody, no, you've only been with your husband. You've only been nobody believed it.
I mean, literally, I didn't think that I was the only one that did that. But the more I'm talking, I'm like, okay, maybe I am just like kind of rare. But yeah, I've been with one other guy other than my husband. I guess that, to me, that's like, should be the way it should be. But everybody thinks that's so like not normal today.
And as soon as you start preaching family values, they attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's on the guy side too. We're promoted to expose, to give, or use this pause as well too. And photographers will do this sneaky thing too. I don't know if anybody else is going to work with you if you have this behavior, or if you say no and use the superpower and put your foot down and say no. It's like, well, I could tell such and such not to work with you if this happens. And it's like, guys don't get paid enough in the industry compared to women too. So there's an imbalance of pay gaps. We're talking about modeling. So they'll use that against you, because the pay for guys is exposure. And when they're telling you they're going to burn a bridge down and not expose you, like, to me, that's like a big thing. It's almost 10 amounts of blackmail. And also, here's the thing, the accusations levied against me, like I was saying, I didn't have sex on camera in the industry. None of this happened. So I didn't have a body count. I didn't lose my V card till I was like 25. So I don't have a high body count myself for being a guy. And we're being shamed for not having high body counts. We're called incels. So that's the thing though. It's like, you want to promote, guys from not.
You're damned if you're do, damned if you're down. Exactly.
Right. So this knife, they're using to cut both sides. So it's like, there's no way that you could choose. But here's the thing though. no, I'm going to be the person who's be the antagonist and fight against the popular culture right now and actually try to preserve women's V card and try to tell guys to maintain some dick discipline. And then not to mention this, but you're actually jeopardizing yourself when you put sex and everything else before a relationship, because now you're clouded and your judgment's clouded. And then you're not going to really be making good decisions on the forefront of financial responsibility, of making prenups or anything else like this, because, oh, the sex, to me, that doesn't make any sense. And we're being ran by a thing.
Now I know why they attack you, because all this stuff you're saying right now, it pisses them off because you can't take back some of this stuff. It's not like girls can go back and take back all the guys they slept with. It's not like you can go back and get years of no. So it's like you're telling them things they can't change. So of course they're going to attack you.
Well, and see, the thing is, like, I'm be honest with everybody that's watching. I have a bigger hoe past than both of them combined. Okay,
I've heard you, Gary Mickey.
I'm not saying that bragging rights, and I've told you guys, like, I tell guys all the time, look, you need to value your dick in the sense of, like, not every woman is worth your seed. Not every woman is worth carrying your legacy, and that's what you're risking in doing that. And then once I show everybody like this, the thing that I taught my youth group with this little paper heart. I'm not doing it today, guys. I'm not doing it again. Don't make me do it again. So I know you guys like to laugh at me, but I show them this example of a heart, and I tell them the story that I told my when I was a youth pastor, and symbolizing how, like, when you have sex and you're giving yourself away to people, you're giving a piece of you that you're never going to be able to get back. This essence of you're never going to get back. And so then when you finally find this person that you want to marry or whatever, you get in a relationship with, you're giving them this tainted heart that has been already damaged, bruised, has been through some horrible stuff and all this baggage. And then you're expected to give you this full heart that's not damaged. Where do you feel like the value exchanges? You're not. You're giving them something that's been destroyed, and you want something that's brand new. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The best way that you could do, instead of setting yourself up for failure in relationships, is preserving yourself. And I've said this before. Trust me, guys. There's nothing you learn by having sex with somebody that you can't by not having sex with them. I'm sorry. There's no information that you download when your penis inserts into the vagina. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I didn't learn anything new. So there's nothing there that you gain. It's for your ego, if anything. And people don't realize that, you really ruin a relationship when you actually prioritize this. Something could actually, but since you are over, hyper focused on the sex and making sure that you get laid and that the sex is good, that you're not looking at other qualities. That would be.
I honestly think if the guy really likes her, he's very, very attracted to her. I don't honestly believe that he's just because she doesn't give him sex, he's just gonna like walk away. I know they say that kind of stuff, but I think they say that to girls that are like, maybe, yes, no, take it or leave it. But I think if you really, really like somebody, I don't think that just because she doesn't give you sex right away, they're gonna